Welcome to the Herd's official YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Colin Cowherd podcast, all of our NFL instant reactions, and more football content.
J-Mac, I don't know if I've ever quite seen a quarterback pivot like J.J. McCarthy. First three quarters, he threw for about 55 yards. And then in the fourth quarter, he was Joe Montana. He was virtually perfect. So we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, winning time. McCarthy delivers, baby.
All right, so I don't start my show with statistics very often, but I thought this was very interesting, and it serves a point. So in the first drive, Caleb Williams is 6 for 6 with 102 passer rating. The rest of the game, he completed 50% and a passer rating in the 70s. That's a backup in the NFL. J.J. McCarthy in the first three quarters, unwatchable. A 34 passer rating. Looked terrified. In the fourth quarter, 6 of 8, 101 passer rating. My takeaway, the further the Bears' Caleb Williams got off script, the worse it got. The more J.J. McCarthy could play loose, intuitive football, the better it got. So don't be afraid to have a strong opinion after one game. Caleb on script, velocity, horsepower, he can move on script, look comfortable and daring and good. But that opening drive in the third quarter, you could watch Ben Johnson, who was visibly frustrated with his lack of accuracy. There were also 4 false starts, 12 total Chicago penalties, 8 on the offense. So, and he was missing badly with open receivers. So, I mean, I think he's talented enough to beat bad teams and mediocre coordinators, but that's not his division. And he was 1-5 against his division last year, the only win when the Packers rested starters. So there, you can't watch that game and not be a little unsettled. Off script, it looks like USC Caleb Williams. Wow, he's talented. And so was Cam Newton. And in 11 seasons, Cam Newton had 3 winning seasons because Cam was all over the map and too often relied on talent. His mechanics eroded. His accuracy regressed. It was hit and miss. And that was the knock on Caleb coming in. He had all sorts of talent, but there's a million talented lounge singers working at bad saloons. They're not coachable. They don't manage themselves well. They aren't consistent. The NFL is so much more than just arm talent. Jay Cutler had a great arm. Justin Fields finally has a passing game coordinator he likes in New York. You saw what he did. I also thought Caleb panicked when the first and second receiver weren't there. Now, again, Brian Flores, in my opinion, I have said this for like a year, is the best defensive coordinator in football, in my opinion. I think the staff of Minnesota, this year, The Athletic did a piece. It ranked San Francisco's second best overall staff, Minnesota number 1. So you may not face a coaching staff this good. Green Bay's is pretty good the rest of the season. But Caleb does too many things that losing quarterbacks do. The false starts. Now it's 1st and 15 or it's 2nd and 12. He panics with pressure. His off script, his accuracy dips when he's moving. And he had an extra year ahead of J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy just hasn't played in a couple years. I mean, he didn't even play in the preseason much. So I thought when you watch this game, there is a way to win in this league. This is what Belichick talked about with Brady. You can't have penalties. You can't play behind the sticks. You have got to be moving forward. And Ben Johnson's body language, he was frustrated. He was puzzled. He was swearing on the headset. It was just not good enough. You got to give me more than talent. And here was Ben Johnson after.
We said going into week 1 that the team that would make the least number of mistakes would win the game, and unfortunately we were on the wrong side of that. We made too many there late in the game, myself included. 12 penalties. That's got to get cleaned up in a hurry, and yet we've been saying that all training camp as well. So, we'll find a way to get that done. It's going to be a collective effort. No one's pointing fingers.
Well, I'm fired up to announce Hard Rock Bet as the Volume's new presenting sponsor. Everybody knows Hard Rock hotels and casinos are iconic for entertainment. Well, now the Hard Rock Bet app brings more energy and excitement than ever to the world of sports betting. What does it mean for you? Well, here at the Volume, you'll start to see us use Hard Rock Bet's lines when talking about the biggest games, college or pro. We'll give you all the crazy stats from Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub, which is right there in the app. Plus, we'll be taking the show on the road, doing live broadcasts, meet and greets right from the Hard Rock properties down in Florida. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app's the only legal sportsbook whenever you're in Florida. It's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado, with more states coming soon. So right now is the perfect time to sign up. All you have to do is place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll score $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings. That's $150 more dollars for you to bet this football season. If you're in New Jersey, you can also hit the Hard Rock Bet Casino app. It has all the same casino games you'd play at one of their properties. All your favorite games from Atlantic City. Practically everything you want to bet across every sport. All in the same top-rated, nearly 5-star app. So head over, sign up today. Join us as we get this party started with Hard Rock Bet. And roll with us all football season.
First half, mostly on script. You felt pretty good about it. The further Caleb got off script, hero ball, panicking, lack of accuracy, all the things scouts said they were concerned about. All right, J.J. McCarthy. I've never seen a game like that. I've never seen a quarterback do that. So the fact that J.J. McCarthy ended up with a 98 passer rating after the first 3 quarters is remarkable. I mean, the Vikings still only finished 3 for 12 on third down and 6 fewer first downs than the Bears. They were unwatchable offensively for 3 quarters. But I have found my J.J. McCarthy comp. It's Baker Mayfield. Play at a college power, tons of emotion, a lot of energy. I wish they were bigger. But all they have to do, Baker and J.J. McCarthy, can go into slumps and get reckless. But if they make one big throw and they gain that confidence, their velocity and their accuracy changes. And he, after that pick 6, which is about as bad as any pick 6 I've ever seen. I mean, he was bad in the first 3 quarters. But then there was a moment for J.J. McCarthy, and this is very Baker Mayfield. There was a moment. It was in the 4th quarter. He hit Justin Jefferson with a seed. And this play right here unleashed something. The next 3 drives, it was a different J.J. McCarthy. And this is Baker. All Baker needs to step into it, one rope, and Baker changes. The ball comes out faster, more velocity, and more accuracy. And again, he's got Kevin O'Connell and Josh McCown. You cannot get better as a quarterback. So what you really saw from J.J. McCarthy is an old saying. Nobody is going to believe in you in life until you believe in yourself. And you watched his body language change. He's like Baker. He plays with a ton of emotion. He got a little chip on his shoulder. He wins a lot of football games. But you saw 2 different quarterbacks. The first 3 quarters was a coaching staff. And again, he hadn't played much that was protecting him. And they were kind of just waiting for it to happen. I text somebody last night, an NFL exec, and I said, what do you make of this game plan? And he goes, in KOC, I trust. He didn't play much in the preseason. He hasn't played a lot of snaps. They're probably thinking in Minnesota, let Caleb Williams make mistakes with Brian Flores. Let's just try to stay in the game. He'll make a play later, and he did. And I got to tell you, that was a different quarterback in the 4th quarter. Here is Kevin O'Connell after.
J.J. McCarthy, for him to make some of the plays he did, I told him at halftime, you are going to bring us back to win this game. And the look in his eye was fantastic. And the best thing is just the belief I felt from the team, the unit, and ultimately that doesn't get done without him in the second half. 2 passing touchdowns and then the critical rushing touchdown, at the end.
Now, it does help. Minnesota's got better ownership, a better front office, a proven coach, a better roster. They were favored in the game. I said all week, this was the last Blazing 5 pick. I didn't pick. I picked Minnesota. I thought this was one of the games. I just trusted the Minnesota Viking organization, their coaching staff. I think Ben Johnson's a really good coach, but it's just in big games, Caleb Williams has often been worse than the 1 o'clock window. So Minnesota, now this morning, J-Mac and I are laughing before the show. What is J.J. McCarthy? Well, I think he's going to be closer to the fourth quarter than the first three. And again, it is Kevin O'Connell was called the tall Sean McVay when he went to Minnesota. And people have talked about if you drafted coaches right now, he'd be a top 3 or a 4 coach. He can build a culture. He played in the league. Tall, good-looking guy with a lot of confidence. Look what he did to Sam Darnold. I don't think J.J. McCarthy is gifted enough to get a defensive coach or an average coaching staff and flourish. But there is something about Justin Jefferson, the protection. They get their left tackle back soon. They did start to develop a run game, a pretty consistent run game in the second half. That also helped field position and confidence. But if you're a Viking fan this morning and a Bears fan, I know that one quarterback outplayed the other for 3 quarters, but a Viking fan looks at that fourth and says, I absolutely believe we've got our guy for the next decade. I don't think anybody in Chicago, except maybe Caleb Williams, is thinking that this morning. I don't know if Ben Johnson's thinking that, because the body language with Ben Johnson was disappointment. Even when J.J. McCarthy was struggling, I didn't sense that from Kevin O'Connell. He was just sort of monitoring and watching, understanding the situation. The body language from Ben was, these are dialed up to work, and you're not hitting them. So, J-Mac, how good was week 1 of the NFL?
Unbelievable.
Every big TV game was unbelievable.
Yeah. Just some more context for McCarthy. So he's only 22 years old. Very young guy.
Yes.
No left tackle. Darisaw was out last night.
He's in I think he's coming back in a couple of weeks.
Adam Thielen was just traded for like 5 minutes ago.
Had a drop.
He had a brutal drop. Jordan Addison suspended. Like everything going against him. And you're down on the road at night in Chicago. I thought that was unbelievable what he did in the fourth quarter. Not quite Josh Allen unbelievable.
No, but I mean, look at
pretty impressive.
Look at the last 2 fourth quarters we've seen in the NFL. Baltimore dominates a game. Yeah. Like it's not competitive. Dominating a game, the wheels come off. J.J. McCarthy looked, if I said, 5 adjectives to describe it, they're just, he looked a little intimidated, a little slow, a little hesitant.
Pick 6 was...
It was as bad as pick 6. He literally threw to a bear in stride.
Yeah. Real quick, the division. Based on what you saw this week, you don't want to overreact.
Green Bay's the best team.
Okay. Who's the second best team?
I would say Minnesota right now.
Over Detroit?
Oh, I think those coordinators, I think it's a major issue. Whoa. Go back several years ago. Think how good the roster was for Philly. They hired coordinators that didn't work. Week 10, they were circling the drain. Coordinators, go look at the Niners defense with Robert Saleh. Go look at it last year. People don't understand. These coordinators are game changers.
So this week, Chicago visits Detroit, 1 p.m. I believe that's a Fox game, Colin. That is kind of a huge game for Caleb Williams and Detroit. Detroit can't lose that, can they? Can't start 0-2. It's over. But Caleb needs it badly, given what happened the final 3 quarters.
Well. Minnesota defensively, in my opinion, is better than Detroit.
Yes.
They were a top 5 defense last year, I think total defense. I like Minnesota's defense better than Detroit's, which can be a little hit and miss. I do love Branch in the back end.
He's good. That's a top 5 game this week. I know there's a lot of good games. Listen, there's good games every week. That's a top 5 game for me because I don't want to say it's elimination in week 2, Colin, but we've seen this. 0-2 is a big hole to climb out of.
I can't believe how good week 1 was. I cannot believe how good it was.
We were close to, Bears 17-6. Looked like they were about to run away with it. Remember Hawkinson fumbles?
No.
And I thought that was a legit fumble. I hadn't seen that
when
play
it was
before.
17-6, my take was if the Bears get one more drive, and even if they don't score, it is a field position because JJ was playing with no confidence. I'm like, just pin him deep, make JJ drive 94 yards. We could have a game that's over. Yeah. It's just sometimes this league just pulls stuff out of a hat. And between the last 2 night games we've seen, incredible turnarounds. One by a team and one by a quarterback.